What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel, and for today's Yu-Gi-Oh news video, we have some new support cards in Darkwing Blast, but not what you would expect. Because we have some brand new Vernalizer support and some new Naturia support. And you guys are wondering, Naturia, why are they getting new support? Well, the answer is simple. The answer is very simple. And it's because of this. Yeah. It's because of the fact that we got Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1. I was able to get my hands on two more mini boxes on the hopes to get that last dice. I think it was the Berserker Crush dice, if I'm right on that. I'll do an opening on the set at some point. I don't know when. I honestly don't know when, but eventually I will. Eventually, but yeah, we are getting support for Naturias. Why? I don't know. Naturias will never be meta. I'm just saying, I'm just letting it out there. Naturias will never be meta. There, I said it. I said it. So hopefully you guys are ready for this weird video. If you guys do, and if you guys are ready and you guys want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh news videos, which get posted usually every Tuesday, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys smash that thumbs. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on my social media. The links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. Let's get straight into it with the Vernalizers. First up, we have Vera, the Vernalizer Fairy Goddess, which is an 8-star Earth Fairy, obviously, with 2400 attack, 3000 defense, and the first two effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it, and if you do, it becomes Earth. So it basically, with this effect, it basically becomes like a one, basically, it's sort of like a DNA transplant, but or actually rather, it's a Snatch Steel homunculus, if you will. What the hell? Hang on, guys, I gotta fix my setup here. Hang on. There we go. Sorry, guys, I had to move my chair back a bit. But anyway, it becomes a Snatch Steel homunculus, and what I mean by that is you're able to just completely take control of your opponent's monster, which is obviously the which is the Snatch Steel effect. The homunculus effect, basically you get to change its attribute from its current attribute to a different attribute, in which case it's Earth, basically, which isn't too bad. It isn't too bad, especially if you are running an Ouster package. That wouldn't be too bad. Go into, I think, was it Magelanica, if I remember right? So it's not too bad. During your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can target one Earth monster in your grave, special summon it. Nice little Monster Reborn effect, not too shabby. And then the third effect says, once per turn, while you control 5 or more Earth monsters, you can negate any monster effect activated by your opponent, and if you do, destroy that monster. And there's a note here that says, for those wondering, yes, she negates when the monster effect resolves. So if you control 4 Earth and the chain is set is the second effect, you will get in range. So basically, even if you have 4 Earths on board, you can still negate, which is actually really busted. Next up, we have Vernalizer Fairy of Seedlings and Haze. I don't know who the hell. I'm just gonna be real. I don't know who the fuck designed the art of these cards, but seriously, it is so weird. This one looks like something out of that fairy tale that we used to read as kids. What was it? Oh yeah, The Ugly Duckling. It kind of looks like something out of that. Where, as opposed to the first one that I just talked about, it looks like something out of Zelda in a way, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, Seedlings and Haze is a 3-star Earth Fairy, 400 attack, 800 defense, and the first effect is a once per turn, which reads: you can discard this card and one other monster or Vernalizer Fairy card. Add one Earth Fairy monster from your deck to your hand, except this card. Then you can special summon an Earth from your grave, and you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except for Earth monsters. So it basically has it's basically a 1-for-1 Monster Reborn. Basically, 2 cards in one effect, which is actually pretty busted. Being able to just sorry guys, I had to move my chair up again. Anyway, being able to just one for one go into another go into another Earth Fairy, or even go into another Vernalizer to your hand, and to be able to just resummon a monster from your graveyard. That's actually not too bad. Yes, it does have like a sort of like a Fiendish Chain like effect, where you're not able to trigger any effects, except for Earths. But what's cool about this card is that it actually has a second effect, which reads: all monsters on the field lose 600 attack except Vernalizer Fairies. So basically, all of your monsters, which are mostly going to be Vernalizer Fairies, are basically unaffected by this effect. So this card right here acts as sort of like a Return of the Dragon Lords, where it protects, where it sort of protects your cards from being affected, if you will. And then the last card is actually the field spell, which is called Flower Bloom of the Vernalizer Fairy, which has 3 effects, and the second and third effects are both once per turn. The first effect reads: all monsters you control gain 1000 attack while you control 5 or more Earth monsters. So excuse me. So basically, you would need to go full combo, and then to be able to just activate the field spell and just go from there, which is pretty crazy to say the very least. Second effect reads: you can banish one Vernalizer Fairy and Flower Buds from your hand or graveyard. Special summon one Vera the Vernalizer Fairy Goddess from your deck. So basically, it basically acts as sort of like a 1-for-1, where you send Flower Buds to your graveyard, or banish it, if you will, and you get Vera to your field, which, I mean, having a 2400 beat stick on board, that's pretty good too. That's pretty good. And then the third effect reads: if a Vernalizer Fairy monster or monsters is special summon from your graveyard, you can target one monster in the field or in the graveyard, return it to the hand. Ew. So it basically works as sort of like a Sign-Friendly Lord Omega of sorts, which is not too bad. It's not too bad. Honestly, I really don't give a damn about the Vernalizer Fairies. They're just not going to be that good. They're not as good as people think it is, because with Vernalizer Fairies, you would need to go full combo, and you would need to run cards like, I would say cards like Urgent. Ugh. Sorry guys, I'm just way too tired right now. Anyway, I would say you can run cards like Urgent Schedule, but that works with the Earth Machines, unfortunately. But still, it's a weird archetype. I just don't think it's that meta. I don't think it'll ever be meta, but if it is meta, I'll be surprised. I will be very, very surprised. But now we move on into the Naturia support. First up, we have Naturia Mole Cricket, which is a 1-star Earth insect with 0 attack and defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads, during your main phase, as a quick effect, you contribute this card, special summon 1 Naturia monster from your deck, and if your opponent controls a face-up monster or monsters with the highest attack on the field, you can special summon 2 instead. This would basically help you go into Naturia Beast, basically. So if you have like a 4-star tuner or whatever, like this one that I'm going to talk about here in a second, Naturia Camellia, which is a tuner, you could just basically summon both Camellia and just a random Naturia. Boom, Naturia Beast on board. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Second effect reads, if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters from the extra deck, or you special summon a Naturia monster from the extra deck wild cards in your grave, you can special summon this card. Monster Reborn much? I'm gonna be honest, I never really played the Naturia deck, but I can tell you that Naturias back in the day were sort of relevant. I know that it was played a lot in like excuse me, in locals and like past like YCS events and whatnot. But this was like before Master Rule 3 came out, before we had pendulums, and Naturias were pretty nuts. But nowadays, since we're under Master Rule revision, you're running like Link monsters and this card and that card, and this card is perfect for this deck because of this effect. Really? To be fair though, this card is actually pretty good. It's sort of like a combo starter, so to speak. But for the most part, it's mainly an extender. The second effect is an extender because it can help you go into, because it can help you synchro climb, if you will, into cards, such as Naturia Barkion, Naturia Landois, which each of them has their own effect. Barkion, I believe, focuses on the... I know that if I remember correctly, as I go on to Nexus, if I remember correctly... Excuse me. No, that's not it. Might be the Gadget one that was... Let's see. Nope. I was right. Nope, I was right. It was X-Saber. All the way down to the X-Sabers. So each of those 3 synchro monsters have their own effects. Naturia Beast focuses on spells, Barkion focuses on traps, and then Landois focuses on monster cards, where as opposed to Exterio, it focuses just on the back row alone, and then Gaia's Trio focuses on basically just focuses on pretty much any and all effects. So they both work. So the 2 fusions work as Omni Negates, if you will, which are insane. So if you're able to somehow go from turn one mole cricket into a Gaia's Trio Exterio turn 1, you essentially just have your you essentially just have your board right there, just off of Mole Cricket alone, which is not too bad. Next up, we have Naturia Camellia, which was the plant, which was the tuner that I mentioned. 4-star Earth Plant Tuner, 1400 attack, 700 defense, and all 3 effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads: if this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 Naturia card from your deck to your graveyard. So it's essentially a Foolish Burial, which is really good. It basically you can basically just normal summon Camellia, pitch Mole Cricket, go into your combo plays, summon out the Mole Cricket we summon Barkion or Landois or whatever. It can instantly just combo off from there, which is really nice, which is really pretty busted too, in my honest opinion. Second effect reads: if you would tribute a monster or monsters to activate an Naturia monster's effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave instead. So basically, it helps. So just with this effect alone, it just helps further extend, if you will, especially if you pitched, excuse me, especially if you've pitched, the monsters. It's a nice little extender to help further ensure that you can go into Exterio, Gaia's Trio turn 1 or turn 2, depending on the board state. Third effect reads: if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can special summon 1 Naturia monster from your graveyard. So again, an extender. It's an extender. Nice little Monster Reborn effect. And now for the last card that's in this, that I'll be talking about in this video, Naturia Spring Breeze, which is a quick play spell, and it says activate one of these effects. Special summon 1 Naturia monster from your hand or graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using monster you control, including at least one Naturia monster. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters you control as fusion material, including at least 1 Naturia. So it's basically Cyber Rev System, Urgent Tuning, Polymerization, all rolled into one card. And you guys are wondering, wait a minute, Urgent Tuning? What do you mean by Urgent Tuning? Urgent Tuning has an effect that activates during the battle phase. As I have to go back onto Nexus. I believe the card was released. Urgent? Here we are, Urgent Tuning. Which is a normal trap, and it reads during the battle phase, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon 1 synchro monster using monsters you control. It's basically that. It's basically that. So again, it's Cyber Rev System, Urgent Tuning, Poly rolled into one, which is pretty nuts. Because with this, because with that effect, just with this card alone, you can easily go into Barkion or go into Exterio, whichever one of the fusions or synchros that you want to go into, just by using this one card alone, which is pretty nuts. But again, the question becomes: could Naturias be meta again? Yeah, it's possible, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. But that does bring me to the question of the day. Do you guys believe Naturias will be meta once again with the new support? Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh news videos, which typically get posted on Tuesdays, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. Make sure you guys follow me on my social media. The links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.